Governor Tanko Almakura of Nasarawa State has urged supporters of the All Progressives Congress and indigents of the state to accord President Goodluck Jonathan the respect he deserves when he visits the state tomorrow, Tuesday. This follows a hurling of stones at the president's convoy in Katsina and Bauchi states. Governor Almakura believes politics must be played with decorum and fairness to all the actors in the general elections. Meanwhile, President Goodluck Jonathan has said the best fight against corruption in the country is to block all loopholes in the system. The president said this during an interactive corporate forum in Lagos with the organized private sector and professionals from various fields. Our correspondent Loretta Chogo reports that the forum was well attended by key ministers in the cabinet.
Taking over Kenya, which were where the government is actually...
Mostly seated here are key players in the organized private sector and professionals from the sports and entertainment industry. The corporate forum is an avenue to Georgia and highlights major achievements of the Goodluck Jonathan administration in the last 4 years. One after the other, key ministers in the cabinet, from finance, petroleum, works, agriculture, to trade and investments, had one payoff after their speeches. Elects the president again to complete what he started.
When we try to see what really is the size of this economy, what we found is that the economy is much more diversified than we thought, and therefore the policies that support those different sectors are sound policies.
Our foreign import will decline under this president from 1.1 trillion in 2009 to 634 billion by 2013, and will continue to decline.
Their speeches elicit some reactions that are indicative of the gap between the administration's achievements and the reality in the rural areas.
I think one issue I believe we must address going forward is the right communication strategy. Because most of us here do not know that 25,000 kilometers of road have been walked.
The session is all about the president, and so he steps out to give an account of his administration's achievements. He chose a rather different path, insisting that a good government does not fight corruption by waiting to jail culprits.
Yes, we must suppress corruption by arresting people who will go to getting what. No, we are operating English law system that says that it's better for 9 criminals to get free than from one innocent person to suffer due punishment. In that case, the concept of the honest negligence is always difficult to prove, even in some corrupt cases. That's why sometimes they even accuse the EFCC that they are going for free bargain. Because the same case will be there and dragged for years or years and years not again until even the people will die. And we find that that was not the best option. So sometimes the EFCC is already because of the initial prosecution. So our whole emphasis is more on prevention, which setting up strong institutions and preventing. Because the same dimension that
the atmosphere in the hall changes as soon as the petroleum minister's final words drop.
Mr. President has actually caused Nigeria to be the #1 country in this world right now because we have done the mathematics where women have been put into nominated offices by a government in power. It has never been done, and after this government, we may not see it again for a long time. I advise women to stand up for this government and for their power. You will see the faces of some of the women that Mr. President has put into power in this country. It is unprecedented.
It's a smart one, but it gives way for a rethink before the elections. And wherever the pendulum swings, the electorate would be the deciders. Loretta Chogo, Channels Television News.
Away from electoral matters, the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria has suspended its 3-week industrial action in federal courts across the nation. The industrial action, which began on January 3rd, was to press home the demand for the implementation of the judgment of a federal high court which granted the judiciary financial autonomy. The workers, both at the state and federal levels, had vowed not to resume until the judgment of the court was implemented in all the 36 states. The suspension followed a series of meetings between the union and the federal government. 257 persons are reported to have died in 439 road accidents in 2014. The Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Boboye Oyeyemi, who provided the statistics, listed speed violation as top among the causes, accounting for about 50% of the accidents. Mr. Oyeyemi insisted on the need for enforcement of speed limits, especially for commercial operators, and said the policy will commence on June 1st. He also warned that 2015 will be a year of intense enforcement, adding that the Corps' target for the year is to further reduce road accidents in the country by 20%. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government has demonstrated its commitment to continue to equip security and law enforcement agencies with appropriate technologies to enable them function effectively. The evidence of that commitment was witnessed as Governor Babatunde Fashola today handed over an Information and Communications Technology Resource Center to the Area C Police Command in Surulere.
On arrival at the Area C Police Command, Governor Babatunde Fashola was received by a guard of honor. He then proceeds to inspect the newly installed ICT Resource Center within the office complex.
Is it the same thing? Yes. Are they your major customers?
The center is equipped with computer systems and other facilities to enhance the operational efficiency of the police force.
The ICT Resource Center is meant to be a kind of a comprehensive office that will take care of all the exhibits, both vehicular exhibits, keke marwa, tricycle, and what have you. The essence is that we can get all our stations, clean and clean up. But when you go to most of our stations, you see a lot of vehicular, a lot of vehicles that are parked that, mess up the whole environment. But with this in place, we're able to have all these vehicles centrally captured and released on bond to their owners. So whenever it is needed in court, definitely to be produced. And this is a very good one. And it goes, a step further to enhance our criminal decision in this state.
Governor Fashola says the center will enable personnel to have detailed storage and records of criminal evidence.
Why can't we just take enough photographs of all the angles of the accidents, of the vehicles, release them on bond to the owners, that they will produce them whenever it is needed in court? So we are giving you the equipment, the digital cameras, the servers, to take all of this evidence and store it in your files, in your electronic files. Whenever it's needed in court, you produce the documentary exhibit, and if the owner is needed to produce the vehicle in court, they will produce it because it's been released on bond. If you do this, many things will change. One, the congestion around your environment will change. It will become a cleaner environment.
The state governor plans to hand over 100 of such centers to police formations across the state before the expiration of his tenure. Kelvin Obetin, Channels Television News.
When the News at 10 returns, Wall Street Journal reports rates Nigeria the most attractive frontier market economy for American and European investors. Please join us again.